Hello, I'm Talina. I'm a presenter here at Rinse FM and I am at Rinse's HQ with Ella Knight. Hello.
Hello.
So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Ella Knight. I'm a singer, DJ, songwriter and promoter. I throw parties.
Let's get into it then. Cast us back to who was Ella Knight before you got into music, before everyone knew who you was. Who was you?
Since I was a teenager, I've always just been around music. You know, I've come from a musical background. All of my mum's side of the family were jazz musicians.
Wow.
My dad, he was a rapper, like in a neo-soul hip-hop band. So yeah, from an early age, it's always just sort of been around me in the household. So I think, yeah, it's hard to answer who I was before because I think I've always been musical.
Imagine you're just like, actually, I want to be an accountant.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Doctor, yeah.
But your dad was a rapper, your mum was in jazz. That's just like, wow, like what an amazing thing to be around, like growing up. What was that actually like being in your household growing up?
It was just, you know, there was a lot of music playing, a lot of parties. I mean, a highlight for me when I was younger was every summer from like the age of 7 or 8, my parents would throw this party called the Soul Kitchen Party. And they'd just get all their friends around, like crammed into our house. So much amazing music from like soul, funk, disco, house. So yeah, as you can imagine, there was a lot of parties, but it was fun.
Yeah, for sure. And in terms of then like the actual like process to get you to this point now where you're, you know, obviously putting songs out there, you're DJing, you're putting on your own nights at places like the Jazz Cafe, you're obviously on Rinse. What did that journey look like?
Quite a long journey. So I'm originally from Nottingham. So I was writing music then, wasn't DJing at that point, and moved to London about 5 years ago. And then I was actually a programmer for a venue in Brixton. So I started putting on nights there. It's where I started the Ella Knight's house party. I also started Madam Jazz there, which is a night celebrating women in jazz. And then from that, just sort of more opportunities came, met more people. And yeah, I guess it's kind of led me to having a residency on this show and continuing the party throwing and the music loving.
In terms of like the first song you ever wrote or even performed, do you remember what that was and what that was like?
It was when I was 14, because I remember I was always singing covers, and my dad said to me one day, he was like, you know, it's all well and good singing covers, but you know, you got to like write your own music if you want to progress as a musician. Okay, that first tune that I wrote was called, I think it was called The Flower from Last Summer.
Poetic.
It was very poetic for a 14-year-old, and it was basically about one of my dad's friends who passed away, he was like the embodiment of a flower, I guess. So yeah, and then from then, that's where I was like, oh, maybe I should do this some more.
And what made you sort of want to move into the DJing space?
When I started throwing parties in Brixton, I just wanted to get involved and kind of be that musical tastemaker at the events I was hosting. So yeah, I just wanted to be more immersed in the party throwing, I guess.
Yeah, and there's nothing like jumping on decks at your own party.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
You have to.
Like, would you give yourself the best set time?
No.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't do that, can you? Like, even though you want to.
Even though I want to.
You've got to be like.
Yeah, like cheeky little warm-up set first.
Get the crowd going.
Yeah, get the crowd going.
So I really want to know about the Nottingham music scene and how growing up there influenced what you like to listen to, what you like to make, the parties you like to put on, all of that kind of thing. Yeah.
So the Nottingham music scene was actually like kind of the opposite sound of what I like to listen to and go out to. It's quite like grungy and electronic. So I think that it was good in a way. You know, it was annoying that I couldn't go out and listen to the music I wanted to, but it kind of forced me to kind of create a scene and the sounds for the music that I wanted to hear myself.
And I think I saw somewhere, could have been on your Instagram or something, where you were kind of saying that jazz is a genre that's sort of underrepresented. Do you feel like that's true everywhere, or was it kind of just in Nottingham?
I definitely think it's a worldwide thing, a nation thing, you know. I think it's definitely getting better, but there still needs to be more female jazz musicians on stages, still needs to be more female headliners.
Yeah.
But, you know, now that I've started platforms like Madam Jazz and there's so many other people forcing this narrative, I'm hoping it will get better, and I'm seeing a bit of a change.
So seeing as we're on the jazz topic, let's talk about Madame Jazz. For those people that don't know, what is it? When did you set it up? What's the vibe?
I started Madam Jazz in 2021 because I found it really hard to find nights that showcase that sound. And I think being a female musician, especially in jazz, in the industry is really hard to navigate on your own. So I wanted to be that person that was able to help other people and bring a community together. And it's been great so far. You know, I've been doing it for just under 3 years, and worked with like over 30 artists.
Wow.
Hosted stages at festivals, allowed musicians to connect with each other. And yeah, we just did a show at the Jazz Cafe too, to celebrate our second birthday.
Which is so sick.
Yeah, it was really
How
fun.
did that come about with the Jazz Cafe? Like, was it an easy location to secure, or was it?
Do you know what? They actually just emailed me.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's so sick. I love that they came to you.
Yeah, they did. Because it's always been a dream to do a night there. You know, it makes sense. It's in the name. And when they messaged me, I was like,
yes, obviously.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing. It was so good. I was really nervous leading up to it, but all the artists were great. We had Madeline, Rosa Cecilia, Rael, and then Social Record Society. We were doing a DJ set. It was just, yeah.
Did you
such
perform
good
at it
vibe.
as well?
Oh, yeah, I performed as well.
Do you perform all of your
No.
things? Okay, no.
I last performed at one, like we did a year ago, but I tend not to, I don't know, I kind of like to just be the person behind the screen and make everything work. But yeah, I tend to let platform other musicians, I guess.
How do you go about finding other artists that you want to platform, and what makes you be like, yeah, this artist as opposed to another one?
I guess to me, it's all just about the music. I could be looking on Spotify one day or go out and see gigs myself, and it's all about just taste and what I like. And if I hear something that I like, I'm like, great, that will work for the show.
Yeah.
I tend to focus more on emerging artists because I think I want to help them progress.
I'm all about that. I love that. Yeah, because we already know about everyone. We already know about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not you, as in you, plural. Yeah. Whoever you are.
You big jazz musician.
You big jazz musician. We want some new ones.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
I like giving them the chance to perform at the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
sick. So talking about kind of performing and stuff like that, if you were to describe your live performances in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
I would say soulful, raw, and fun.
Lovely. Do you remember the first live performance that you ever did? Like where it was, what the vibe was?
I think it was in like a cafe in Nottingham. It was like half pizza bar, half cafe. And I must have been like 15 and was so gassed about it. I was so nervous. I remember just saying, because I was so nervous, I think I completely forgot the lyrics. And like rather than singing it or making up the words, I was just going, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to remember this next line. Just saying that the whole way through. I just remember my dad being at the end going, stop, just sing. But yeah, that was a good experience.
I'm going to throw you in the deep end here. I know that you are a big advocate for up and coming artists, but I'm going to ask you, is there one artist at the moment that you would love to spotlight?
An artist called Rosa Cecilia. Honestly, I think she's the next big thing. Think like Kali Uchis mixed with Ella Fitzgerald, you know, it's like jazz and Latin music. It's fucking great.
Sauce, pure sauce.
Shout out Rosa.
Also, great name.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
she's very.
A bit of this.
Yeah.
Festivals then. For you, why do you think festivals are so important?
I think they're important because it just brings so many people together under one screen space. You get to discover amazing acts as well as seeing your favourite acts. And I always end up meeting friends. I don't know about you, but I always like meet the best people at festivals.
You mean like make friends?
Yeah, make friends.
Same,
Yeah.
It's great because everyone's just so nice to each other.
I know, everyone's in a good mood.
And in London, that's not often the case. I went back to Manchester, I'm from Manchester originally. I went back to Manchester recently and everyone's just smiling. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And that's the vibe at a festival.
Yeah, it is.
Know?
Everyone's on good form. For sure.
Have you got a festival that, first of all, that you've been to that was like, wow, this was epic, and then second of all, that you've performed at and you were like, wow, this is epic?
We Out Here was epic. I really loved going to that festival. And then in terms of performing, I mean, I think one of my favourite sets was Cross the Tracks. I played last year, and that was just before, I think it was David Rodigan who was playing after me, but that was just mental. I just wasn't expecting like such a big crowd and just had like a really good time. I had really bad imposter syndrome then, and then it like went afterwards.
I think sometimes when that's the case, when you're not expecting it and the imposter syndrome's really bad, it's so nice when it's such a surprise and you're just like, wow, that was great.
Relax.
I'm great. Because the crowd makes such a big difference, doesn't it? Both as a DJ and a singer.
Yeah, it's mad. It's
like when they're giving back to you, it's
literally, they can impact how you feel for like the next hour or 2 hours. So if you've got a good relationship with them while you're playing, it good.
Have you ever had like a set that was really quiet and that like was quite jarring?
Oh yeah, definitely. A few times, you know, it's always like you never really know how to act in those situations because you're like, there's no one here, and I've like had this idea of what it was going to be like in my head, but you just got to go for it, you know? You have good sets, you have bad sets, and that's just the journey.
Absolutely. What is one thing you cannot live without on your rider?
Red Bull.
Really? What do you have it with?
Just by itself. Maybe a bit of ice, yeah.
How was that for your vocal cords?
It was all right, to be fair. Just add a bit of grit, you know?
Fair enough, or a little bit of horse grit.
Red Bull grit.
On your USB, what is one song on there right now that you're just like, yeah, this goes off?
Garrett David, Mikasa. It's banging.
I like that one, it's banging. What's the vibe?
It's just like pumping, like kind of got like a groovy sort of percussive feel to it. It's
pumping
cool.
And groovy.
Yeah, that's what we like.
Like it, like it. You are putting on a festival. It can be anywhere, it can be called anything, and you can have a lineup of 5 people. What's it called? Where is it? Who's on the lineup?
Maybe Bumpin' Fest.
Bumpin' Fest.
In terms of the lineup, I mean, maybe Cynthia, Garrett David, because I like his music, Kenny Dope, Kerry Chandler. Is it bad to say me?
No, put yourself on the lineup. God, God's sake.
Yeah. Ooh,
I hope that you would say that.
Well, warm-up set, of course.
Of course, not selfish at all. Yeah. Where would it be?
On a beach somewhere, in Greece, like a remote island or something.
Saucy.
Yeah.
If you could live the life of any artist for a day, who would it be and why?
Someone like Louis Vega, because he's so sick, isn't he? He's just like an amazing producer. He travels the world and he's just like super soulful and he's really cute as well.
Yeah.
It's like tiny, you can like put him in your handbag. Sorry, Louis, that wasn't a diss.
Just you are here with like Louis Vega in your handbag, just popping about. like a little chihuahua.
Yeah, literally.
For Louis Vega.
Sorry.
3 festival survival tips, please.
Plenty of fluids.
Sensible girl.
Plenty of sleep. Like I've definitely made the mistake of not sleeping. And food. Gotta eat.
Back to back. Track, collab, avoid.
Okay, so
3 people on the lineup from Project 6. Jules, Artie, AJ Tracy.
Back to back Artie.
Absolutely, manifesting that.
Track collab, Jules. And avoid AJ, sorry.
It's fine.
He's a good guy, but I don't know.
And also, like...
You won't want to collab with me anyway. I mean...
He might.
Yeah.
He might. Nah. But also, I feel like everyone's going to pick him.
Yeah.
You're just going for...
The different answer.
The different answer.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that. And just throwing it out there, any artist in the world that you could do a back-to-back with or track collab with, like anyone, who would it be?
Ooh. Maybe someone like Cynthia. She's really cool.
Yeah.
And she's like a proper house girl, which I love. So a little Cynthia track, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for
coming to Rinse FM Serious headquarters and having a lovely serious chat with me.
Thank you.
Very excited to see your performance at Project 6.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see the funky animal print jacket at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.